everyone, welcome! Brother O'Shaughnessy here, getting you ready for the final exam review. Here we go! We've got to do chapters 2 and chapters 1. You're going to want to take out some blank sheets of paper and start writing things down. You can pause this video at any time you need. You're definitely going to want the top part of the paper here for these notes. And then we've got some example problems that you're going to want to write down as well. Let's do it! In Chapter 2, we learned about solving equations. We learned about the 5 GOTs. We learned that whenever you're solving a problem, the first thing you should do is ask yourself if you got parentheses. If you do, then you're going to distribute. If you got fractions, then you're going to multiply by the common denominator. Next, you should ask yourself, do you got lots of x's? If you do, you need to same side the x's and combine them. You can also do this backwards. You can combine them and then get them to the same side if you want. Number 4, got addition or subtraction. If you do, you need to do the opposite to both sides of the equation. The very last step when solving equations is that when you've got multiplication, you're going to do the opposite, which is division, to both sides. We also learned in Chapter 2 how to do percentages, that the word of means multiply, is means equals, and what means the x. Lastly, in Chapter 2, we learned about solving inequalities. Basically, when solving an inequality, you're going to still use these 5 same GOTs. However, remember that any time you multiply or divide by a negative number, you got to flip the inequality. So let's take a look at some example questions. Question number 5 on the final exam is going to look something like this. To solve this problem, we're going to go through the 5 GOTs. Do I got parentheses? Nope. Next one. Do I got fractions? Nope. Let's move on. Do we got lots of x's? Ooh, we do. We have an x here, an x here, and an x here. So I'm going to combine the left side here. Negative 3x plus 5x, well, that's 2x plus 7 equals negative 4x plus 13. I still need to get these to the same side, so let's go ahead and add 4x to both sides. Plus 4x plus 4x. When doing that, I get 6x plus 7 equals 13. Okay, good. So we got that taken care of. My next step is got addition or subtraction. We do have addition. We got a plus 7 here. So I minus 7 to both sides. Minus 7 minus 7. I get 6x equals 6. In my last step, I got multiplication. To undo multiplication, we divide by 6 to both sides. And I get x equals 1. That is our final answer. And the cool thing about algebra is you can always plug that in and check it if you want. And you'll see that it works. Let's go to number 6. On number 6, we're going to go down the 5 GOTs. Do we got parentheses? Nope. Do we got fractions? Yeah. So in this problem, we're going to need to multiply everything by the common denominator. So we've got a 5 and a 3. The common denominator would be 15. I multiply by 15, multiply by 15, multiply by 15. We're multiplying all the tops by 15. Now, if you're bad with fractions, this is a good time to take out your calculator. Or you can do it by hand, whatever you want to do. 15 times 1 is 15, divided by 5 is 3, so that's 3x. Minus 15 times 2, that's 30. 30 divided by 3, that's 10. And then 3 times 15, that's 45. Got lots of x's? I do. I need to get them to the same side. They're already on the same side, so let's just combine them. Negative 7x equals 45. In my last step, I'm going to divide by negative 7. Divide by negative 7. So I get x equals 45 over negative 7. I'm going to put the negative out in front. And that is our answer there. Negative 45 over 7. Whoops. Let's go to the next one. Question number 7 on the final exam is going to have some parentheses in it. Let's go ahead and work on this problem. First thing you're going to want to do if you got parentheses is to distribute. Now don't forget to distribute the negative here. This is going to become negative 3x, and this is going to become positive 3 because we distributed the negative. We'll distribute the negative 2 as well. So I get negative 4x, and distribute the negative 2 here, I get minus 6 equals 5x. The next step is got fractions. We don't got fractions, so we'll move to got lots of x's. We do got lots of x's. Let's combine these here. Negative 3x minus 4x, that's negative 7x. And 3 minus 6 is minus 3. And that equals 5x. I'm going to go ahead and move stuff to the right side on this one just for fun. Plus 7x plus 7x. That leaves me with negative 3 equals 12x. And then we'll need to go ahead and divide by 12 here. So I get x equals negative 3 over 12, which does simplify to negative 1/4. So there's going to be one like that on our celebration of knowledge. Be looking for it. Question number 8 is a percentage problem. It's going to say what percent, now we got to translate that, what, that's x percent of, that means multiply, 50 is, don't forget, of means multiply, is means equals 350. I gotta solve for x, so I divide by 50 here. I get x equals 7. It's x percent. So I need to multiply both sides by 100 to get the percentage, or move the decimal place over 2 spots. So x equals 700%. Cool. Okay, so a percentage problem. In fact, question number 9 is also going to be a percentage problem. Bob left an 18% tip for a $42 meal. What is the total cost? So we're going to have to find the total cost. We need to figure out what is 18%. What is 18% of a $42 meal? So to do this, what means x is means equals 0.18. Of means times 42. So to figure out the total tax here, we are going to have to take 18.18 and times it by 42. I'm going to use my calculator here. 0.18 times 42. It comes up to be $7.56. Now be careful not to mark that as the answer though, because they asked us to find the total cost, which is going to be the tax plus the meal. So it's going to be $42, well, not the tax, but the tip, which is $7.56. So the final answer will be $49.56. Woo! That's expensive. Hope he took a lot of people. Okay. Excellent. Done with that one. Let's take a look at what number 10 is going to look like. On the final exam, number 10 is going to ask you to solve for W. We learned these as the Free Willy problems. Got to get Willy by itself. You're just going to use the 5 gots here. So got number 1 is got parenthesis. We don't have parenthesis. So got fractions. Yeah. We do got fractions. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5, which is the common denominator. When I do that, I just get 5a equals kw. Because here, 5 times 1/5, that just cancels out. I'm just left with kw. I'm trying to get w by itself, so we're going to take both sides and divide by k. And so the final answer is 5a over k. Oh, that almost rhymes. 5a over k. Good. So question number 10, be looking for something like that on the final exam. On question number 11, we're going to be dealing with inequalities. Inequalities. And to do inequalities, we're definitely going to just follow the 5 gots. Got number 1, got parenthesis. We don't. Got fractions. Nope. Got lots of x's? Yeah. Let's get them to the same side. I'm going to minus the 10x over to both sides. Minus 10x, minus 10x. When I minus 10x, I'm left with negative 4x minus 12 is less than or equal to 20. I'm going to try to get x by itself. When I do that, I add 12 to both sides. That leaves me with negative 4x is less than or equal to 32. And in the last step, we're going to be dividing by negative 4. Now, there should be some alarms that go off. We're dividing by negative 4, which means we do have to flip the sign. So my final answer is going to be x is greater than or equal to. Notice that I flipped it. It was less than. Now it's greater than or equal to. And 32 divided by 4 is negative 8. And so that is my final answer on number 11. Careful! On the final exam, you might have to flip the sign. So be looking for that. You might not have to. You might have to. I don't know. Depends on what version you get. So be aware of that. Flip those inequalities. The Chapter 1 review. There's only 4 questions that come from Chapter 1. Let's take a look at what they are. The first thing that you got to remember is how to do prime factorization. That's when you break down the number, circle the primes, keep doing that until you got every number circled, and then write the primes in order. We also learned how to combine like terms. That's where you're going to have to distribute any parenthesis that you might have, and then add like terms. So x's with x's, y's with y's, x cubes with x cubes, and so on. Fractions! We learned how to do fractions. We did some by hand, but for the most part we said, hey, use that sweet ABC button. It's a great button, and you should totally use it. Last of all, we learned about life lesson number 1. We said, hey, you should be investing $67 a month for 45 years at 11%. Time is the most important thing. Albert Einstein said that compound interest and investment is the most powerful force in the universe. So you should definitely get your part. You got to start now. Waiting is going to make you lose tons of money. Okay, So let's take a look at a couple questions. Question number 1 on the final exam. Right when you walk into the final exam, the first question they're going to give you is this one right here. Prime factorize 660. No problem. To do that, we're just going to say, what times what gets me 660? The first thing I see is 66 and 10. If you pick different numbers, that's totally fine. After that, I see 6 and 11. 11 is prime. That doesn't break down anymore. 2 and 3 breaks down, and those are both prime. And 10 is 2 and 5. We'll want to then write those in order. So it would be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 11. That's how you're going to do question number 1 on the final exam. Question number 2 on the final exam is subtraction of fractions. To do this, first of all, I would get rid of this double negative. We don't ever do double negatives in math, so I would write this as 2/5 plus 2/3. I would then work on getting a common denominator between 5 and 3, which is 15. I'm going to multiply this side by 5 over 5, and this side by 3 over 3. I'm left with negative 6/15 plus 10/15. And when adding those together, you're going to get 4/15. And that's the answer there. So that's cool. You can totally do it by hand if you'd like, but you also have the power of the calculator. And I would definitely encourage you to always check your answers to make sure that that's right. And calculators rock. Cool. Question number 3 on the final exam is going to be division of fractions. We learned how to do division of fractions. When you divide fractions, you have to flip the second one and multiply. Flip and multiply. Gosh. When you do that, you get 3/8. I change the division sign to multiply. And instead of 9 over 2, I get 2 over 9. You can then just multiply the tops with the tops to get 6. And 8 times 9 is 72. And this would be negative. And then we can simplify that by taking out 2's. And you can simplify it down all the way. When you do simplify it down all the way, you get 1 over 12. And it's negative. Again, if you use your calculator, it'll automatically simplify all that for you. Perfect. The last one, question number 4 on the final exam. We talked about all the questions. Now, don't forget, take these 6 pages of notes with you. Is it 6? I think it's actually only 5 pages of notes. Take all 5 pages with you, because this will be, and these will be kind of the notes you want to keep from this course. It's got everything that we talked about in the class, and go rock it. On question number 4, you are going to have to distribute the negative, and so first thing I would do is distribute this negative 3 in. You get negative 24x. And negative 3 times negative 9, that's positive 27. Then do 8 times 7, that's negative 56x. Don't forget to distribute the negative, so that becomes negative 16, not positive. Careful. That's the largest error of all of algebra. Do not commit it. 24 minus 56. We're going to combine our like terms then. Combine our x's. When we do that, we get negative 80x. And we're going to do 27. 27 minus 16. That is 11. And so our final answer comes out to be negative 80x plus 11. That is it. Those are the questions on the final exam, or similar to it. We wish you very much good luck. Good luck to you on the final exam and in all your future studies and life adventures. You guys rock. We hope to see you if you're in the math lab needing help, don't forget to come and see me. I'd love to help you with your future math. And congratulations for finishing this class, and enjoy your 7-week break. This is Brother O signing out.